Right then, it's been a while since I've done a video on a Dreamcast game, and I bought this one, which isn't actually a 2025 release. Most of the stuff I've covered before this point has been stuff that's been released as and when it comes out. This one is a bit different. Now, this one came out in 2022, I think, yeah, and was published by Pixel Heart Corporation and Josh Prod, and is the Astro Port Collector. This is a collection of different games which have been made by Astroport. They were sort of a games developer that were quite well known on Steam for releasing games, and for a short time they were also published on the Dreamcast. I don't think we've had anything from them in recent times, but it's not to say that another game won't pop up in the future. It might very well do. But this is quite an interesting release, really, because it was very, very expensive when it was new. I think it was retailing for about €100, and I couldn't justify the cost on that originally. But with Black Friday coming and going, there was sort of a limited time deal where a few Dreamcast games were reduced. I had a little flick through the list and stuff that I usually had anyway. This I didn't have, and it was down to €43, and I couldn't pass it up for that sort of money. It had been sold out before, you know, when it had been in sales, and I missed out on my opportunity before, but thankfully there was a few units that were left in stock, so I didn't hesitate and I ordered one. But it comes nice and shrink wrapped, and you also get sort of a discount code for Pixel Heart in the box as well, which is kind of cool. You've got a limited edition sticker on here, which tells me that this is copy number 1272 out of only 2,000 copies. The packaging design mimics the Japanese, sort of later Japanese Dreamcast releases. As you might remember, a lot of the last stuff came in DVD style cases, which this sort of would go in a collection like that, certainly. You've got the sort of reverse Dreamcast logo, Pixel Heart, right up there. Likewise on the spine, and on the back you've got sort of more true to the Dreamcast's style of, you know, the CD-ROM, which mimics GD-ROM there. One player shoot 'em up VGA, and then VGA compatible. So I don't really know what the difference is there, but it's written twice. Maybe it's supposed to be VMU. No resale, which once you take presumably a spine card off, if it's got one, it doesn't look like it does. That was the barcode would go with it, so you won't be able to resell it. Right, so the games that are included on this before we open it is Gigantic Army, Zangeki Warp, Satazius Next, and Wolfflame. Now, I believe these two here got a standalone release, and possibly this, but I don't think this did. But I know for full well, Gigantic Army never actually came out by itself, so you could only get it in this collection. And I think Zangeki Warp may be the same, but I'm fairly sure I have played this before. So I do often do a bit of sort of low-level beta testing for Josh Prod, so sometimes I do play the games before they come out, and there are a couple of games that haven't come out that I've played, and maybe I've played this that way, or maybe it did come out, but I will look further into that at some point. Maybe I should have done that before I made the video. But yeah, these two here, I've definitely played these, and they came out sort of physically on the Dreamcast. You can get them sort of Japanese NTSC, or like Japanese NTSC, or American NTSC style, I should say. Yeah, so we've got sort of shrink wrapped. We haven't opened it yet, so I guess we should try and get into it one-handedly if we can. This might require my teeth to open this. We may very well come up and do... Oh no, there we go. Look at that. It doesn't often happen when I'm unboxing these. You usually have to do a sort of a cut. Right, let's take this off. Noting that this is a cardboard box rather than actually like sort of a plastic box. Oh, cool. This is really cool. Right, I'm going to put that off to the side for a second. That's really cool. Look at that. So, Gigantic Army. Has it got all the yeah, it's got all the games on what looks like a poster there. Yeah, wow. wow, that's really cool. Got your controls for each of the games. The artwork for each game there as well. Yeah, see, I don't recall that. I don't recall the artwork for that, so I'm fairly sure that didn't get released. Definitely not that one. Yeah, but I do recognise those two, definitely. Right, so that's a cool little poster you get with it. You get your usual certificate that you get of most of the Josh Prod Pixar releases, which this one's saying it's the US Jap one, so there isn't actually a PAL version of this, worth noting there. It is only the US/Jap version, and even saying US is a bit of a stretch. It is very much in sort of Japanese. Very nice card stock on that, signed as well. Put that off to the side. This is sort of like an opening out case here. Loads of cool artwork on it. And then we get into our discs. That's cool that that's written like that. Oh, hang on. Wow. Oh, look at that. It's got a little pop-up section and everything. That's really cool. They put a lot of effort into this release, haven't they? Yeah, so these are cool. I kind of like the Japanese style discs, and it's kind of a shame that they don't, I've bleated on about this, but it's a shame they don't use the proper Dreamcast logos and typeface anymore. Like they did used to when they first started out releasing Dreamcast games. They used to fit really well in your collection. You wouldn't have even known that they were independent releases, to be honest. Yeah, professionally mastered discs, and don't get any dodgy CDRs here or anything like that, like you do with some of the independent Dreamcast games. I think some of them were as bad as Lightscribed throughout its run, sort of 10-12 years ago. That's cool. Clock going off, so it's on the hour. Yeah, Gigantic Harmony, looking forward to playing that. I'm very surprised that these two games you can only get in this set. So does that make this set well worth getting? Yes, if you can get it for €50 or under, you're really onto a winner with this. You get a lot for your money, and there are some great games here. I do quite enjoy these. I seem to remember Wolflame being ridiculously hard, but a great game to come back to. And I think likewise with Saturday Next there as well. So looking forward to now playing these games and seeing what they're like. I might even record some actual DC footage as well to show you what to expect from those. But yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Let's just turn that over before we shut off for the evening. Yeah, so it's available on pixelheart.eu, and it took only a couple of days to arrive. I'm in the UK here, so it didn't take long at all, and I'm really super pleased with this presentation box that you get here. And it would be nice to see Josh Prod and Pixel Heart do this again in the future with some of the independent releases which haven't sold so well over the years. They could maybe do like a collection of them, and if you can keep it to 50-60 euros, I think you'd be onto a winner there. Right, I'll catch you next time inevitably. Goodbye.